Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for the kind feedback on the family voiceover video. That was so much fun. It was so funny, just the things they chose to say during their segments. If you haven't checked that out, definitely give it a look. That was really fun. It was like just to get ready with me, narrated by my family. But for today, it's going to be a very complexion focused video. I have been getting a lot of ads. I've talked about this before, lots of ads for Merit, okay? And I own some Merit stuff. And some of it, like, I really think is unique and special. Some of it, maybe I've struggled with the right way to make it work for me. And when I see these Merit videos, I gotta get my hair pulled back. When I see them, it's all about somebody just putting together, you know, a few sticks on the face and being like, here's my quick makeup routine. And it's nice and it's satisfying, and I like stick makeup. However, there's a practical side of me that's like, I know that in this excessive heat warning weather we're having, that's not going to do it. You know, I need to be setting things. I have the Minimalist stick, and I've already learned, like, I don't love the look of this all over my skin as foundation, but I do like it in other ways. And like, that's what I'm going to show you in this video, is basically in a practical sense how I use that stuff and make it work for me. These products, this brand, it feels very like classy and minimalist and not over the top, but like, here's how Emily fits it into her way of doing things to make it something that wears all day and does a good job. So what I like to do before getting into the Merit sticks, I want to give my skin at least a little light coverage going in. And I've been experimenting with all different like tinted moisturizers. Today I just grabbed for one. This is the Tower 28 Sunny Days one. Can you see that? This is in the shade 15 Melrose for me. This has an SPF 30 in it. It works really well. It's just a light coverage, you know? I like to get that going all over. So then this stick, which is sometimes referred to, sometimes used as foundation / concealer, whatever, I like it best in a strictly concealer capacity. When I blend this in all over my face, for some reason, I just can't get the best look. But it's called the Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick, and I think it works well over a tinted moisturizer type of product like this. So I get some of this out and I dab it around. And like I said, I can plug in any product. I could use Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator here, the new Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Skin Tint. Find a dense brush, get it all blended in. And this just supplies my all-over complexion with a little something, and I get to start my look a little more evened out. And of course, I already have all my skincare on today. I always have an SPF on as my last step of skincare. Got my serums and everything like that. I'm not sure if you can look closely back there, but I do have lights going around this garland. I have a new garland. It's fluffier. It's a little darker. It's kind of, you know, moody fall vibes. I'll have to like get a closer look because it's just looking kind of dark in the background right now. And yes, my nose is a little stuffy. I've been dealing with some of that for the last several days. Okay, so there's that all blended in. And then, like I said, this stick, it really works for me best, which I have it in the shade Bone. It works well as concealer. So like if I only use it on my under eyes and just anywhere I need to conceal, I like it like that. I don't love the look and the wear when I try to stretch it out all over the entire face, like down on my cheeks and across my forehead. Like I've just, maybe it's the shade being as light as it is, but it just doesn't wear well in that way. But one morning last week, like I was crying because I was having a conflict with Belle about eyeshadow and wearing eyeshadow to school, and we were just butting heads over it. And in the end, like I ended up crying because I felt so bad about the situation. And she wanted to wear it. I said, no, only when you're playing around and blah, blah, blah. Hence her comment in the voiceover. So anyway, I cried that morning, and then like I had to go do something else. I'm like, oh, what did this makeup do now? And it was a look very similar to this. And I thought, it's still pretty much there, and I just was able to quickly touch up with this in some places. That's my very vulnerable testimonial on staying power here today. But that stick in concentrated places, that's how I like it, okay? And I've got the skin tint all over the rest of the face, and it really looks like everything's coming together well. Then I don't just leave that, okay? I'm looking dewy, I'm looking glowy, I need a little setting powder. I don't care what you grab for, but grab for something, because this stuff does need to be locked in and it helps a lot. So I'm using Laura Mercier Ultra Blur today. Let's tap a little in the lid, get you a powder puff, and away we go. See, look at this, nice and smooth, okay? So I've got that on. Setting my under eye, setting my T-zone, and now I just kind of go in and sort of dust away if there was any excess there, like on the under eye. And then I'll dab on a light amount of another powder just to get all over my face and set it. This is how I have staying power in extreme heat, guys. Like, just because you're watching this sponsored video and Merit doesn't make a powder, so they're making it look like, well, then we don't need to put a setting powder on. The setting powder helps everything a lot. And this way my skin gets to have the moisture. Nothing ends up looking overly dry. By the way, I'm using this L'Oreal Infallible powder here, and I'm just bopping in with just a small amount on my brush. And it's making my skin overall not feel so sticky, and it will last. Okay, no big deal, but it makes a big difference. So then the bronzer stick. This is the Bronze Balm, and the shade I have is Sen. This stick, just so you know, how does it stack up in terms of all the other contouring sticks? I really like the tone, and it is kind of this balmy stick that has some sheerness compared to other ones that I own. So when you see it go across the skin, maybe you see like a little gleam hop off of it. It's got some moisture in it, and it's not as opaque of a color. So you can blend this in. You can feel maybe even a little more free to contour your nose, even if you don't do that all the time. Like, it's not stark. All right, so I can appreciate that about this product. I can like other ones too that are more like chiseling, but this does give me kind of a sunny look on the skin, but it's light and soft and easy to blend. I would take a 56 brush, that's what I am doing, and just blend that at the hairline, and you can see, you know, we've got a little bit of contrast there, but it's soft and light. Whose TikTok feed has been full of Bama Rush bid day on Sunday. Oh, very exciting to watch, honestly. You get kind of invested in it. And Bella Grace, she's a Pi-Fi now. How was a Pi-Fi? Look at this, just stamping it in. It blends in with total ease. But see what I mean? How like this is kind of that classy, minimal makeup where it's never gonna look too stark. It's never gonna look like too much. It's soft, it's pretty, it's doing the job. Now, over the holidays, this past holiday season, about a year ago, I got the little Merit Flush Balm. That's what they're called, right? Yeah, Flush Balm Trio. I'm so glad I did. 2 of the shades are part of their regular line. I believe it's Cheeky and Beverly Hills, and then there's also a nice deep shade called Mars, and I've enjoyed these. And as I talked about in my video, like if you like this high-end product, then try this drugstore alternative, I was talking about these and how they are a really unique texture. They're not just like a straight up cream, they are balmy. They are so much like the contour stick I just used, where there's some moisture in them. They're not just a fully opaque, rich cream, but they're very easy to work with, okay? And they look really nice on the cheeks. I'm gonna use the shade Cheeky here. See that color? So cute. And I'm just gonna give a swipe. And where Rare Beauty is little goes a long way, these you feel like you can give yourself a good old swipe and you're gonna be all right. So I take, this is again a Sephora 56 brush. I just have a small version too. And we just stamp over it. I'm not buffing in big time because I have makeup under this and I don't really want to mess it up. And this can blend easily with just a little stamping motion, okay? Stamp, stamp, stamp. And look, we have this pretty, like, it looks so natural. And I'm not looking super sticky all over my skin because we took that step to set things. There's no shame in setting things, unless I guess if you're doing a sponsored video and you can't bring in any other products. Okay, it's so pretty. It's buildable too. Like, let's say you see this and you're like, okay, I want a little more of that. Go for it. Boom, boom, build it up. I wonder how much bigger the full size is than these. I'm really not sure. I don't have one. What I don't have is a highlighter stick from Merit, but I know they sell those. They also have like a face oil kind of thing. I've seen people put on like a primer. But yeah, that's my complexion, and I feel like, look how much glow is still like bouncing off of that cheek, but it doesn't feel too sticky. That's the sweet spot I like to be in. See, I can stop there. I can feel like, oh, my skin looks dewy and fresh. You know, I did the Merit thing, but I customized it to what works in a practical sense for me, which is not using that all over the face, only using as concealer, definitely setting lightly all over. This is how I roll with the Merit stuff. And if you had a lipstick, they sell some lipsticks, some lip oils. I had a lip oil once upon a time and it kind of got leaky on me. But yeah, I'm going to finish my look and I'll be back to wrap things up. So here is my finished look with the eyes and lips done and brows too. Last few days I've been experimenting with the new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, so I tried another look with that today. So far so good. I've got some thoughts on it, but I'm gonna wait for a video to share more. And then on my lips, I went really like light and natural today. I used the shade from Revlon Color Stay lip liner. This is the color Blush, and then I used my Hard Candy Lip Melt in the color called My Type over the top of that, and it is really pretty. You can see the color is like a soft sort of pinky shade. Of course, that shade of blush from Merit was cheeky. We have the bronzer stick and everything like that. And I know that this look is gonna last all day because I've been testing this kind of idea. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I feel like my favorite part of the Merit stuff that I've tried has been these little blushes. I think they're a unique formula. They're buildable, they're pretty. The shade Cheeky that I have is probably my favorite. Beverly Hills is pretty too. I mean, I truly like all the colors and the formula. These products, like I said, this stick as concealer only. Attempting to swipe it all over your face as foundation does not work well for me, but as a stick concealer, I do like it. And this, I would say this doesn't rank like at the top of my list of stick contours. I still like Persona or M Cosmetics over this, but there is something to be said for the soft contoured look. You know, it's not too much, but yet it is doing something there for me. So I like it, but maybe it's not a full-on love, okay? But the complexion look, in my opinion, really gets saved by the setting powder. That's what you don't see in all the ads for Merit because they don't make one. So I would say definitely set your under eye, set lightly all over the face. And I love pairing it with some kind of like light tinted moisturizer. I feel like the coverage is actually great because we just stepped it up where we needed it with that. And I've been experimenting with so many different tinted moisturizers as part of this look, and they all seem to really be able to pull it off, assuming I do setting powder. So thank you for your time, everybody. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.